Hey guys, what's up? So I'm sitting here waiting on someone at work. I thought I would share the time to cover with you guys some more reaction videos. Sorry for the vest, work attire. So I got some good ones that I've looked at here today. Hopefully you guys like everything that's going on. This first one starts off with, from Vegetable Syllabub 246. Dating a man who has been celibate for 10 years. This is a long one, guys, but I want to share this one with you. I, 40-year-old female, recently started dating a guy, 36-year-old male. Things have been going well. Good communication, enjoy spending time together. I feel like I can trust him, feel safe with him, and he's taking me out on nice dates. He's very understanding of my situation. My fiance died 3 months ago, and I'm still grieving, doing everything I can right now to heal. So he keeps me company while I'm working through that. We have a good emotional connection so far. All right, so far so good. This sounds all right, okay? After day 3, though, and a lot of talking on the phone, he revealed that he hasn't had sex in 10 years. What? 10 years? Damn. Dust that motherfucker on off. Has been on dates, but have never wanted to sleep with any of them. He was previously married 10 years ago, but she cheated on him. Probably because he didn't want to fuck. I'm just saying. He was in active duty combat for 2 years. That was around 8 years ago, that he suffers from the PTSD. He said he's just had horrible luck with dating, is an introvert, so only tried online dating all them years. He was almost to the point of giving it up until he started talking to me and met me. Well, first of all, OP, and there's more to read. We're going to get to that. First of all, I'm glad this man's interested in you. Second of all, it sounds like you don't want to fuck, hence why you're here. Okay, I was in combat for many years. It didn't lessen the fact that I wanted to fuck. All right, so the PTSDs that I've experienced did not lead to my penis, and I still want to fuck. So yeah, there's that. On our 4th date, I invited him over, and things were pretty heated up. We made out. We had our hands all over each other. I invited him to my bed, put on protection, and he just goes, whoop. Limp. I reassure him it's okay. Condoms take away sensation, and I'm a new partner. Could be some performance anxiety. So I understand. We don't try to have sex again until I got on birth control about a week later. All right. Your man's thing ain't working. All right. He went limps on you. After about 2 weeks of being on birth control, I'm ready to try again. He still struggles with staying hard. I let him know it is okay. We can do another intimate things. I let him know exactly what I'd like. He tells me what he likes, and then he proceeds to not do any of them fucking things I like. Well, I proceed to do what he likes. Well, first of all, OP, he is selfish motherfucking lover. All right? His dick don't work, so he needs you to constantly be giving him what he wants. All right? He ain't got no time for you. Just gonna tell you that. First and foremost, up front, run the fuck away from this guy, but we're going to continue on. Fast forward to now. It's been 2 weeks since he's touched me sexually. I've let him know multiple times that him not touching me makes me feel unwanted, undesired. Helps me with my sad thoughts, grieving. Please touch me. He claims he's too tired. First of all, if a man going to give you a motherfucking excuse that he's too tired, you're either ugly to him, you are not attractive to him, because it don't take nothing to go and touch motherfucking somebody, okay? So he ain't into you. If he was into you, it wouldn't matter. If he had the fucking bubonic plague, that son of a bitch would try to hump your leg. So yeah, just abandon this guy, but we will continue on. He claims to love me, he says I mean the world to him. I do love him too. We have a good emotional connection, but I don't know how long I should hold out waiting for him to touch me sexually before I should move on. Bitch, move on. All right, just go ahead and move on. The answer is move the fuck on. I miss my fiance immensely. I've never dealt with such a profound loss before. In my mind, I'm always comparing him to him. Each time my new guy falls short of what my fiance did, I cry hard. I cried hard this morning. I never had to tell my fiance to touch me. He always wanted to. He was hard and ready every day. Well, I guess you do miss that, OP, because you ain't got that shit right now. All right? Sorry. Am I trying to self-pleasure as often as I can, but I am really craving a sexual partner? I want the happy hormones that come from it, the stress relief, but I want an emotional connection too. I don't like the idea of sex with strangers. This new relationship seems to be one of the ingredients I need, but seriously lacks the other. I can be patient, but not sure what to do in this situation. So finally, we get through the story of the OP. The answer is get the fuck away, bro. All right, leave. This dude does not want to touch you, which means he does not want to fuck you, which means fucking find someone that wants to touch and fuck you. Let's read a couple comments. Electrical Bass 6662 says, move on. You're comparing him to your fiance. You're sobbing every time he disappoints you. Sounds like you ain't ready. That's right. I agree with that. Hopeful Spring 81. Let yourself finish grieving first. Maybe he senses you're comparing him to your late fiance and feels uncomfortable for intimacy. Hopeful Spring, that's a dumbass comment. All right, that shit ain't happening at all. Vegetable Syllabus 246. I'm going to love this response, guys. I follow a widows group on Facebook. When I read many of them are going on multiple years and still grieving, it makes me feel like I'm just going to be a part of my life now, so I better just buckle up and own it. I don't have many friends. So this is a grieving person. I thought this was somebody stalking grieving ass fucking widows. Never mind, I'm moving on from that one. So there's a lot more in here, but I want to get to a couple other things. To wrap that up, leave that motherfucker there. All right, we're done with that one. Let's move on to another one. Your creepiest dating experience. This is brought to us by Bypass March 2022. What was your creepiest dating experience, the OP says? I was meeting a first date for a drink. I was sipping on the drink before he arrived and knew that although I wasn't halfway through the drink, that I was wasted. All right, we got a cheap-ass drunk right here on this OP. I expected this was my first time at being roofied. Under the circumstances, I let him give me a ride home. Well, that ain't fucking smart. If you think you're fucking roofied, why the fuck you letting him ride home with what? You a dumbass. What's your number? I was sitting on the couch and don't remember anything else until I wake up and see his boots in the living room. And my back door has been left wide open. Is that the back door to your house? Or is that your back door? What are we talking about right here? I call him and he says, I told him that he could stay the night and went home to get clothes and he'd be right back. I told him, don't bother. I would have never told you that. And you can stay the night. You can make an appointment to pick up your boots at my front door, and he did so. Well, I be damned. Put your foot down, did you, OP? A little bit too motherfucking late. You might have got fucking roofied. He tried reaching out a few times. I ignored him. Then he texted on a hot summer day saying he was broke down in his truck. It was going to be 1 1/3 hour before his ride would show up and come by to have a bottle of water. I had begun to think maybe I'd overreacted, so I said, okay. OP, you dumb as fuck. You fall for all this shit, okay? I let him in. He asked to use the restroom and then came out in a towel. I told him to get dressed and I would drive him to his truck. How many times is this woman going to have to go through this shit before she learns she a fucking idiot? He said, no need. After he talked to me, it started back up and it was at the back of my house. When I checked the cameras, he had been texting me the entire time while standing at the back of my house. He has tried to reach out since on Facebook under an assumed name, but Facebook will put his real name right underneath him in parentheses. Creepy for sure. Rapist, serial killer, who the fuck knows? Again, guys, before I get to the comments, this person is also dumb as fuck. Stop doing this to fucking people. Stop giving them chances when they creep you out. All right. Anon Eyes 61111 says, a guy I matched with on Bumble and didn't even speak to yet showed up at my job and introduced himself. That is creepy as fuck, yes. Phoebe Bridgers fan 26 says, I went on a date with a guy and his pictures were pretty old because he didn't really look similar to his profile. I thought, whatever, just give him a chance. We went back to the park to have lunch and hang out the whole time. He was just staring at my tits, kept touching my thigh. I didn't really know what to do, to be honest, so I just kind of tired to look at she can't spell worth fuck. I tried to look at as uncomfortable as possible. If someone's touching your tits and thighs and you didn't want them to, I think you know what to do, all right? I drove us back to our initial meeting spot, and the entire time he kept grabbing my shoulder like hard and not sensually at all, and then started like grabbing the back of my neck. What? While we were at the park, he was going to show me a picture of something. So I looked over and he said, wait, look at this thing my dad sent me. And I kid you not, he showed me a video of some person sitting on a bed with one of them breastplate prosthetic things on their lower half, shaking them around. I was so shocked and disgusted, I just nervous laughed. A what? What kind of what? Well, he said, "Oh, sorry, I didn't ruin things, did I?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then he just said he was trying to see what my humor was like. I genuinely do not know this man is going to find a woman. I don't think this man should be talking to any fucking person, including a woman, children, or probably some animals. He kept talking about how gorgeous I was and funny I was, but the whole time he kept calling me dude and bro and telling me really gross jokes. I stupidly thought I would give him another chance, so I agreed a second date at his place for dinner. Why would you do that? What is wrong with these fucking people giving all these people so many chances? You're fucking idiots. I got to see how this turns out, though. I stupidly thought I'd give him another chance, so I agreed to a second date at his place for dinner. The day of, I asked him if he was still okay for hanging out tonight, and he completely ignored my answer and asked me if I had changed the picture on my profile. I blocked him and moved on. I had a bad feeling about going to his place, so I'm kind of glad I changed my mind eventually. She has a bad feeling about waking up and fucking going to the grocery store, probably. Don't be an idiot, all right? Sorry. Striking Kiwi, oh my God, I'm so glad you changed your mind. What a weirdo. Yeah, we could tell that a long way off. All right. Quantum Compass will be the last one I'm going to cover here. I met this woman in a bowling alley and we bonded over Pokemon Go. Oh my God, nerds. Asked for her number and we chatted for a few days before I asked her out on a date. The date was going to be us walking around town playing Pokemon Go and getting lunch. Fucking what kind of date is going around capturing fake ass fucking shit? Guys, come on. You got to. Is this where we live now? She lived outside of a town a ways and she asked for a ride since she didn't have a car. I picked her up and on the way to her first location, she asked me to pull over in front of the house on the side of the road. Strange request, but okay. She stares out the window at the house for about 30 seconds and then asked me to drive away. I asked her if she used to live there and she responded, "No, that's just where my ex-boyfriend killed himself." Well, what? What a fucking creepy bitch. At this point, I was weirded out, but I wasn't going to turn the car around since we had a fun day planned. We get to the first location and keep things lit and fun. As the day progresses, she opens up more about her previous relationship history. I learned that not one, not two, but 3 of her exes had committed suicide. Either she had a history of dating really unstable men, or there was something sinister going on from her end. Dropped her off at the end of the date and said my goodbyes. There wasn't a second date. All right, listen. I've been saying this whole fucking video. If people are crazy, get the fuck away from them. But Quantum Compass, you should have at least tested the goods before you got away from this particular one. This person right here could have had the magic unicorn stuff, all right? I'm just saying, you could have tested it out and then reported back to us how it was. All right, guys. I want to keep going on these creepy dates, but we're going to cut this one short. This one was bananas. Again, if you like what you see, let me know. If you don't like what you see, let me know. Let me know how I can improve things. Reach out. Let's communicate. Let's talk. Have a good day. We'll see you guys next time.